Yes, live! Exclamation point! Huzzah! And now we just have to load into the game. The greatest challenge in Dune Awakening. Getting the game to load. I'm still really used to looking over here. My screen's on my right, y'all's whatever direction, I don't know. Let's see here. Now, when last I left off, I was trying to get some machinery, right? And I got some of that yesterday. I was just playing around on my own. I just wanted to kind of vibe. And I wasn't doing anything terribly interesting. I wasn't really talking about anything terribly interesting. So I just kind of played on my own. Having said that... Oh, I hear a wurmp. We are pretty close. Oh, I should let the Huz know I'm streaming. And by that, of course, I mean like 2 people who watch. All right. Mstream. Okay, cool. Anywho. So, let's see here. Gonna take stock of what I've got. And, of course, I've turned this off. I think I can turn it back on now. No power. Right, gotta turn it on. Let's go and repair this. And... there we go. And turn that back off. Honestly, stuff like this, I think, is a good idea to turn it off while you're not using it. Really, any of this could fit into that category, but yeah. Alright. So I've got my armor. I think the thing I needed to do was get into the Atreides questline. So we're going to do that. We'll probably... Oh, it's dew time. I know he dewed all over the place. Okay, I don't have my water bottles, so let's get that. Let's get those and be ready to rock out. Yeah. Alright, so... interestingly enough, we were talking on Reddit against the advice of my, you know, tremendous psychological support team, being my own personal judgment. I was on Reddit, and we were actually talking about Star Trek, because obviously you gotta like some Star Trek occasionally. Anywho, we were talking about the new female Jem'Hadar character. I think it's like Laura Thok or something like that. She's half Jem'Hadar, half Klingon, and I think it's specified that like it's you know, Jem'Hadar dad, Klingon mom. But somebody brought up that, you know, it's not unheard of for the founders to you know, take a species and uplift them or otherwise modify them. I mean, that's what they did with the Vorta, right? And somebody said, well, you know, we see female, you know, Vorta. We don't see female Jem'Hadar, so maybe some difference going on there. Then somebody pointed out something absolutely terrifying and a little grimdark for Star Trek, but probably accurate. And that's the idea of them using... basically using Jem'Hadar females like the axolotl tanks. So if you're not familiar, an axolotl tank is it's the female Tleilaxu that has been genetically and technologically modified to essentially be a cloning vat, which is fucking horrifying. I mean, freaking spoopy. Sorry, Twitch, and advertisers. Mea culpa, but to the advertisers. But we're gonna talk about some real dark stuff. Maybe I should have put a tag on this. Anyhow, um, yeah, basically the Tleilaxu, right? They don't reproduce in the manner which we are so well accustomed. Right? They reproduce through cloning, and they also produce their Gola through the Tleilaxu vats, which is again horrifying, and it's not really pointed out in the original, like, or excuse me, in like the first three books um, of the Dune saga, how you end up with Gola. Like, we know they're grown in axolotl tanks, but there's really little specification on what the implications of that are, which is wild. So later on, I want to say, I don't know if it's Chapter House, but later on, oh, I've already got all the water I can get, and this is why we like to get all our containers together. Anyhow, later on, for those who are not familiar with Duncan Idaho's whole saga within the story, it's actually arguable that the main character of the Dune saga is Duncan Idaho and not any of the Atreides. At least not any of the Blood Atreides. Um, because he keeps popping back up, even though this story takes place over the course of several thousand years. Because Dune works funny like that. Anyhow. Okay, we have water now. That's good. I could go get some spice sand, but I really do think I want to do something vaguely interesting this evening. And spice sand or not spice sand, flower sand is certainly a fun, risky activity, but it's also a very quick way to suffer. And it doesn't make for good television. Anyway, so, back to the axolotl tanks. We get this, I think, through a sort of a flashback or some of the stuff. Because Duncan Idaho is a Gola by this time. He's been bred and rebred in those tanks probably thousands of times. And eventually he comes to recognize, well, guess I'm going to go back and get the stuff. Anyway, he comes to recognize what those axolotl tanks are. And they're not cute lizards. They are, in fact, a very, again, like, sort of a perverted form of the Tleilaxu female, which is interesting and definitely a commentary if you're into commentaries about certain topics, which typically I don't really get into, but I definitely found it very pointed. Let's fill our containers here, and now it's time for high adventure. All right. But yeah, if you got lore questions, and you're here and you're lurking, because I see you lurking, know you're here. I don't actually. I've turned off any notification of people being in the channel, but just know that I do know. I can sense these things. Like I don't know. There's all kinds of goofy stuff about Dune, and I'm not an expert by any means, but I do know a little bit more about it than probably a normal person ought to. Alright.
I'm pleased to see you again.
Oh, you know what? Since we're talking to Garrus, let's go green. Yeah? Oh, I kind of like that. Nice.
I feared as much. But hand me that report and I'll make sure a sacrifice was not in vain.
Oop.
Let me have a look at that.
I do kind of wish you could just automatically hand things, but I get why they chose not to do that.
You made the right choice. Trust is hard in this unscrupulous trade, but you've earned some goodwill.
So, who is this Skorda individual?
How did you... This is delicate information. Perhaps you have a gift for intelligence work after all. Our deceased agent was on the trail of Lieutenant Teague Skorda, a defector from the Atreides military. We're keeping it hush, since Leto intervened on Skorda's behalf a few years ago. I must find him before the Harkonnen do, to protect my Duke's honor.
Huzzah.
What
Oh,
you are
fine.
is a freelance asset. This insulates the both of us. It also gives you more freedom than someone serving in a more official capacity. As a deniable asset, no one knows your allegiance but me. You're as free or limited to move about as anyone else. Trust accrues slowly in the world of espionage. You'll have to really earn it. In the meantime, let's work on a contract-by-contract
Maybe up
basis.
here is better.
You're not officially on the books. That means it's up to me, and me
Yeah, it's
alone
probably
to
a little
assess
better.
your worth and trustworthiness. Let's begin. Let's not waste precious time on menial tasks. I want to give you the opportunity to demonstrate your true quality. We'll begin with combat prowess. Gangs of brutal slavers need a
Oh,
proper
nice.
lesson
Okay.
taught to them the hard way.
Wanton slaughter of the enemy is my very favorite thing. TBH. Consider
I
it done.
look forward to hearing about your results. I never could stomach slavers.
Okay, cool. So we're started there. And there's the House Seda representative, which is also very cool. Okay. Now, you need to be built in a survival fabricator, which I've already got built. I want to go ahead and grab... I'll need cobalt paste for that. That's okay. Alternatively, well... Yeah. I'm gonna need that. I'm gonna need this, and this is gonna require cobalt paste, but we'll get to that in time. The question is, do I want a Mark II booster? I think it can be handy. The scanner is going to be a little bit more useful right now. Let's see. Arpov. Oh, I should be able to build this. I need a weapons... well, no, I don't need a weapons fabricator. I do want a weapons fabricator, however. Okay. Because by the time... Yeah, by the time that becomes relevant, we'll be good here. Let's change... Oh, I can use the app on my phone for this one. We're gonna get something thematically both. Where is it? So I've got the new lights, which I've had them for... You can't see my hand because of the way I've got things set up. But... Lamp. Yeah, that works. And then, like... Oh. Yeah, I like that. Okay, cool. Yeah. That being said, that light is starting to hurt. Okay, what do I want to do now? I think first things first, I need to get a better rifle built. Let's make sure I've got the stuff to do it. Heavy darts. Okay, I can make heavy darts, but I don't think I have the gun that uses them yet. I do have a 38 Karpov, which is the tier 2-ish. I think that's... yeah, it's already the thing I have. Not R. Ah, yeah. This Jabal spit dart's amazing. I also... well, luckily, I need to get over and say howdy to the guy. You know, the guy. Um, the Mentat trainer. That's it. Yeah, gotta go talk to the Mentat trainer. Vitality. It's interesting how they chose to split things up. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. But, tis the way it was done. So, I just kind of gotta live with it. Alright. And now it's time to zoom. Alright, look both ways before crossing the street. There him go. Goodbye, Wharp. Hello. Tremendous amount of danger for very little actual gain. Hold up. Okay. Warp detection might be broken today, which does that mean it's broken for me or for the worm or for both? Because I've seen the worm. I know he's there, waiting, lurking. He lurketh. But I forgot the thing I was supposed to bring this guy. I'm a goofball. That's okay. I can get more. Excuse me. Alright. Okay, that's something Harkonnen. That's something not so Harkonnen. If there's any more up here. No. Okay. We need 100 plant fiber for this guy. And I had 100 plant fiber. It's back at the base. I forgot to bring it, because I'm, like I said, a goofball. Oh, no. Okay, we good. This is why I don't like going out on the sand, though. There's just entirely too much chance of tomfoolery occurring. Let's see here. I'm going to grab this while we're here, though, because this isn't necessarily a time to go out and fight a lot. Huzzah. More carbon. It's always nice to have a little bit more carbon. You can make steel with it. And we're going to need steel, because we're going to start making things like the spit dart and higher level armor. Now this area is drier, so it may be a little harder to find the gear for what, or not gear, the materials for which we are looking. I'm not going to go too far afield, however, just because it's a quick way to end up irritated. connectivity on this is just... Ugh. Brother, you. Which that may be because I'm streaming. I'm not totally certain. Ooh, this sounds like a new track. If I have to go back across and get the fiber, that's fine. I do not. I'm digging the track though. I'm gonna see. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna see if I can track both streams. Yeah, that should work. Sometimes multi-stream chat works, sometimes it doesn't. I tend to monitor Twitch more, just because that seems to be where most people tune in these days and participate. But that, of course, could be survivorship bias because I'm not seeing YouTube. Is it survivorship bias or observer bias? I'm not really sure. Ooh. Bright. Genuinely painfully bright. Okay, 90. Got 90 plant fiber. I'm gonna go up there and grab that bush. Give me that bush, Dune. Yeah. You know I love a good bush. Wait. Heard it as soon as I said it. Yeah, I know I'm lame. I am fully aware. Like, 100%. Just in tune with the fact. And I've embraced it. If you can't embrace the lame, what are you even doing? It's like the man said, I am cringe, but I am free. Zoom.
Back again.
I brought the items you need. Iron ore times 40.
Certainly.
Great. Love it. What have we got here? No contracts available at the moment. I am most disappointed. However. Oh, God. That. Ow. I didn't see them when I was looking. I don't know why I didn't, like, register where they were, but I didn't. So here we are. Because physics aren't real. They can't hurt you. Or physics isn't real, it can't hurt you? I don't know. Listen, man. I don't get paid to think too hard, or really paid at all, or think at all. Stuff just comes out. It's the way it is. Now, well, I know where to get iron. That's what matters. Also need to do the third trial at some point. The third and fourth trials are actually really important, especially the third and fourth, like the fourth trial. We zoom in. Ah! Maybe it's because the worm didn't care. Because, like, he was right there. He'd already gone by. I don't know. And there's all the iron ore I need. Well, I'm gonna go drop off the carbon. Maybe start some steel going, because we're gonna need it. It's not quite water time yet. Okay. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Let's see here. I really need to organize my stuff, too. That's kind of the other big chicanery going on. So, do I have my con tool on me? Yep. Let's check that here. 7. Now what do I need? I need complex machinery and steel ingots. So, let's go ahead and kick that off. I'm not gonna do the iron thing. Let's see here. Got another text. Gotta take care of that real quick. And it's 17 degrees outside. Yay! Let's go with boop. Or maybe boop. Since it is nighttime. I don't know, I'm trying the mood lighting thing, like I feel like that works a bit. Do I have any? No. I know I've got one laying around, and they're not hard to make. So. Now I've got plenty of water right now, so I'm just gonna make my way downtown. And by downtown, I mean across the gap again. Yeehaw! That's fun. Alrighty. We'll just slip right on up here. Around this way.
back again.
Yes, have your
Here,
rocks.
you know what to do next.
I don't, actually. What? Why is it? Oh. Oh? Oh. Okay. Well, guess we're off to see the lizard. Zone change. Forgets. Alright. Zoop. And this is where having a set of armor on you helps. Because we're going to do a tremendous amount of violence here in a minute. Um, so, that's fun. Don't worry about me falling on my head. It's happened before. That's why I stream on Twitch. And YouTube. Now, is that on the Bar Island? It is. Oh, God. Alright. Bright side, I've got plenty I gotta do over that way, so it's fine. I gotta get used to looking at the camera and not elsewise. Look both ways. Not that it matters. And zoom. Oh. I cannot wait until I have, like, a lot of reason to be somewhere else. 'Cause I like it down here. I like the vibe of this region. But there's so much warp. Or at least I'd like to be, you know, I'd like to be in a position to have an ornithopter. I want an ornithopter. I guess that's what I'm getting at, is give me fancy late game thing. Equip, equip, equip. Hooray, time for violence. Fuck, that missed. Huzzah. Time for the big suck. Okay. This is supposedly below me. Maybe I should follow these flags. Yeah, that was the right choice. Oh. Oh. No, 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 no. We're gonna craft some extra band-aids. Or maximal boo-boo kissing. Ow. I'm going to go ahead and top off my health. Maybe since we're not doing water collection, I'm going to swap these out because I do wish there were more stealth in Dune Awakening.
Identify yourself.
Killed one of them. Killed both of them. Souk Alasus. Must be the underground market for which I am looking. Because Souk has something to do with trading.
Someone's here.
'Tis I! Haha! There's a lot of people very upset with my existence right now. That's okay. I'm not very enthusiastic about them being alive either. I hear a dude. Yeah, I should have put together some other gear as well. Al, stop. Alright. Hey, now I can get more blood. Yay. Can harvest their organs. Got little lore things here. There's another place to look here as well. It's right here. Yeah. Yeah. And there's whatever's going on here. And we've got the shredder. We've got fancy stuff. I'm gonna grab this. I don't need the scout gloves or any of that. Okay, planted the poison. And there's another job here I need to do. Payback. Oh, that's down here. Okay, so I'll do that next. We'll look around here a little more, just in case I've missed something. So it's always a chance. Hmm. Alright. Yeah, you guys have gotten to watch me go into shrimp mode. That's my bad. Oh, there is someone here. Yes. Come. Ah! That was a little danger close for my piss. Get balls. Fireball, motherfucker. Look around. I don't really see anything. Now it's time for up. They do like to hide the stuff. Oh. Just stealing your shit. Don't worry about me. Oh. Oh no. I made a lot of mistakes there. Right in the face. No, there will be no fire in any holes, thank you, sir. He just died. I didn't even hit the guy. No. Stop. Y'all gotta leave my water alone. Yeah, more blood. Yes. Time to give out the big suck. Mmm. Tasty, tasty people juice. Okay. And there's another blood bag. Man, these people really like blood. They're like, yes, give us all of the juice. Okay, that's the way I came in here. I think. No. Maybe. Alright. So I'm thinking this is a crime. Well, rip that guy. Like, it might not be rendering anymore, but that guy had a really bad day. Because even on Dune, Isaac Newton is still the deadliest man ever to have lived. Make sure we can power our base. Make sure I have plenty of thing. Scratch my face, and I'm going to go handle some food. Okay, this is probably... Yeah. I wonder if that guy's still here. No, that's probably who I heard when I first came in. Ta-da! Okay, so that is... in this early direction, kind of. It doesn't really matter. We'll get there when we get there. Yes. Also, up here above this is a really neat place to build a base. My buddies and I did when we first started. It was cool. I am starting to get hungry again. I've had 300 calories today. Suffer. Huzzah. Oh, let's see here. Actually, probably closer to 6, because I did have bowl of cereal at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Best not to quibble on details. Now it's... Oh. We're outside. It's time for the Dune color. Well, I like it. I think it works. I need a little... I could probably get like a Raspberry Pi and it's a little programmable thing. Like create my own little streamer deck. Because I'd rather do that. Learn a skill. You know. Figure some stuff out. Okay, let's get on foot for the rest of this. So it's down. I'm gonna follow... Connected to a cave, and the cave is up. So much like the mighty Hyrax, I shall yeet up a rock face. With no visible holds. Don't worry about it. Ah, I see you. Rip to the homie. Oh, I think I know this place. The Stash. Yoth. Where? Nope. Got him. Okay, so unless I find another 7 or 8 liters of storage for people juice. That's... I did not expect to deal with that this go around. I'm cool with it. It's just funny. Okay. I feel like I've missed something. Okay. Oh, this is a... Yeah, this is a quest chain. I am going to take it out on these people up here. Oh, no. Four Kirab bandits. Well, that's where I'm headed. Wouldn't you know it? See what I can do from up here. Can I... perchance... Oh. Take the plates, because plates mean armor. And armor, good. Let's see. Maybe something like... Yeah, that's fine. No. It's... Ma'am. A little busy right now, but okay. I just came from there. Okay. Well, we can head back that way. I need to drop a bunch of stuff off though. Just barely scratched my shields. Okay. I feel like I may have missed a box or something, but... The great thing is I can always come back and do this again. Alrighty. One of the sort of balancing things is that the heavier you get, the more stuff you're carrying, the slower you get. It's mildly irritating. But okay, I'm gonna wait until I have the Mentat because I wanna look around on that. And we'll sail south around the bend. Hey, Jaeger. I'm doing okay, man. How are you? Just trying to stay warm mostly, so warm thoughts it is with Dune. Have you gotten any, uh, get it on. My advice, short answer, is it's pretty fun. Wait till it's on hella big sale though, or wait till it's had a couple more updates. I got it when it came out, and I really enjoyed the storyline. I like the gameplay well enough, but it's not for everybody. It's honestly had a fairly controversial lifespan so far. Um, so really, that's that's my short answer on it. But I'd love for you to stick around, hang out, and see for yourself what you think. Because if you, I'll put it this way: if you really like building and like just resource gathering and stuff like that, it's pretty solid. If you are looking for like a really good PvP end game, this ain't the vibe. I, they kind of let that go. I'm hoping the new update fixes that, but I'm not sure that it will. Um, the trend has been towards more PvE friendly. Oh no. And that's what I get for saying bad things about the game. But no, I like it. You get a lot of lore if that's your thing. Obviously, it's kind of my thing. You get some pretty solid voice actors. If you play, ooh, you get big spice explosions out in the desert, which is nice. We like those. Let's see here. And all kinds of loot. I'm gonna try and drop off a bunch of stuff real quick. We're gonna fill our containers. We're gonna start working the people juice a little. Really, I've got this thing turned on. I do not. Okay. Faucet all blood. Well, that's most of it. Good thing I have these two. Right. So I was actually talking about that on stream about a week ago, and I'm kind of in a similar boat, quite frankly. Um, I think, personally, what I think they should do is go kind of the way they went with Conan Exiles. Like, you can play it single player, and that's the thing. You can play the game on your own if you want to. It's not too bad solo. But as far as like making a single player like survival crafting game, I don't know. Again, I feel like Conan actually fits that bill okay. Um, with the right settings. Um, but I think that's the direction they should have gone, is make it to where there are public servers that have the full intended Funcom Dune experience, and then if people want to host their private servers, which they already can, but if you want to mod your servers or mod your game to where you can play it solo, I think that should be fine. Like, if people just want to play on their own, let them. I think you're gonna get more people that way, frankly. Let's see, full containers. And I need to switch back over to this since I'm not... Yeah, there we go. Let's see here. We're gonna... Yeah, so, kind of like Ark. I haven't played a lot, so I'm not going to commit to that comparison. But yeah, you can actually own a private server. You can't host on your own PC, as far as I understand, which is unfortunate. That's on again. That's what I think they should do is allow you to like host your own game locally and just mod the game into an unrecognizable mess if you want to. Um, but you can go through different hosting services and get like a 4-player server or something like that, and it's not terribly expensive. I wouldn't go through Gportal, um, as much as I like Gportal. By the way, I wouldn't go through Gportal because honestly, that something doesn't play right between Dune Awakening and Gportal's like server infrastructure. I went with them when it started, and it was a mess. So I go with X Realm or something like that. I don't even really remember what. Yeah, I think it's X Realm. Yeah, and that works pretty nicely. Yeah, I 100% agree with that. Like, yeah, get my get my glasses off real quick. No, I agree with that. I'm a big physical media guy. Um, so that's my thing with basically anything in existence at this point is everything's digital, everything is licensed through somebody. But I do worry about them shutting down the server someday. I don't think that is imminent. They've got a plan for like 10 years worth of development. So you've got at this point at least 9 years left to go. Um, and I'd hope that by then, if they do that, they'll you know they'll go, hey, we're gonna back off this game, but you guys are still playing it. So if you want to host it on your own, cool. Um, Obviously, what's that? Sarah Payne says, hope isn't a strategy, right? Hope isn't something you should plan around. But my hope would be that they'll not just like screw us out of our game, just because just because they don't want to support it anymore. But I totally understand where you're coming from with that, and I don't blame you for being concerned about that, because I would be too. Okay, I could get a better still suit. Let's go ahead and get that going. Let's work towards the Jabal Spit Dart. The snub noses, I don't remember. But I'm gonna get it. And I think, unfortunately, yeah, I'm gonna need more stuff. Okay, we are rolling in the spice sand tonight. Yeah, and that's gonna again, like, as long as they allow us to host our own games eventually on PC, which I don't see why they would stop us from doing that if they were sunsetting the game. So I mean that's kind of your balance, your balance there. I figure if I've already got over 400 hours in the game, um, so I feel like I've already got my money's worth, um, like for sure. But I feel like in 10 years, if you're still playing it, hopefully allow people to set up their, their own stuff on their own computer or a home tower. I have a feeling that crafty individuals could do it. What about my class? Fair enough. Yeah, that's how I got hyped for this game. Is I watched through the first and second movie again. I think I even went out and watched some of the sci-fi like miniseries, which very accurate to the books, not very great production value, tbh. But class-wise, let's talk a little bit about that. So class-wise, you have four to choose from, and then you have the like planetologist, which is sort of like a survivalist like themed thing. It's pretty handy. So you've got swordmaster, which is it's gonna come from the Ginaz school. In the lore, Ginaz school is where like all the best swordmasters come from. So like Duncan Idaho, right? Jason Momoa, who is basically just Jason Momoa, but more desert in the movie. It's pretty great. You've got the Bene Gesserit, so kind of like Jessica, right? So Swordmaster is pretty straightforward. It's a lot of distance control and stamina control. Then your Bene Gesserit is a lot more. It's more control, just direct control of enemies and things like that. You've got some health boosts and things, which are nice. Again, the planetologist is one you can pick up, and it just helps you with resource gathering and some other more survival things. I am not as familiar with the Mentat. That's actually why I'm building my class the way I'm building it. But you've got some cool, like, deployables and things, which is really cool. And then you've got your trooper. Your trooper is, like, heavy guns, explosives, like that sort of thing. I started with Bene Gesserit. But you can do any real combination, which is I think really nice. It is. Have you ever watched? Well, he's changed the name of the channel several times. It started out as Ideas of Ice and Fire. He did a lot of Song of Ice and Fire lore, and now he does. Now he does just about everything. But he did a really good breakdown of the Dune series. Actually, where I've gotten a lot of my lore understanding from. Because like you come across these things in the book and you're like, oh, that's cool, but you don't really. It can be kind of hard to put them all together. But it's called Quinn's Ideas, and he's fantastic. I think he's a writer himself too, which I'm sure helps. But he does a very good job sort of tying everything together. Pretty good production value for especially for a YouTube channel. So I mean, you want to get into lore, like that guy is the guy. And again, he covers a lot of really cool stuff. He's covered Dune. He's covered Song of Ice and Fire. He's covered Three Body Problem, I think is what he's been working on. Good lord, get up that rock. What he's been covering the most lately.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Oh, it's a Coriolis storm. That's fine. Yeah. So just kind of like how it's interesting how the lore works on that. Give me two shakes. I got to deal with these guys before I really get into that. So I won't spoil it, but this guy might. You done? Yeah, you can play a Bene Gesserit as a male character. The sort of background on how you get that knowledge, or as either gender, sex, whatever, um, is basically like you were taught by somebody who was acting outside of the Bene Gesserit sort of hierarchy, kind of just decided to teach you on their own, much like Jessica did with Paul. Um, so yeah, you don't have to be female just to be a Bene Gesserit. Which, as far as I remember, I feel like there. I don't want to say this definitively because I do not think so. Yes, I would love the ability to ride the worm because it would be super cool and very Fremen. And I have a feeling eventually we're going to get that just because of the way the storyline of this. We're getting a lot of sand today. Spice today, rather. Um, just because of the way the story of the game kind of works and the general theme of the oh boy. That was a mistake. I made two mistakes right there. It would be really cool if, like, because, like, a big part of the worm riding thing is, like, them going down into the, like, southern hemisphere of the planet. And it'd be really cool if that's, like, that's kind of how they introduce that. Oh, boy. It's like, okay, you've got a story thing where you've got to go south. I'd also imagine they will eventually add, like, a Fremen skill tree, which would be real cool. So you could get, like, the sand walking, like, things that would reduce your, uh, you know, attractiveness to worms and things like that, because that's a big thing you got to worry about, even on foot. Is worms deciding that you look like a tasty treat. Because they do not care. Worms will just eat you. Oh, that's not. That missed. Wait, you can detonate that mid-flight? I didn't think about that. Ah, yeah. You've probably seen it a couple of times. They worked that into uh, the game, so I'll find another fight to get into. Don't worry. Um, if you were paying attention to the way the sort of pacing of fights between shielded opponents go in this, basically, um, you have to like stagger the opponent to create an opening, which is real cool. Um, and then you do essentially a power attack, and it goes through, and it's real cool. It's one of my favorite features of the game, and often is it ends up being kind of like climactic in the fight. Sometimes not so much if you're fighting somebody that's kind of heavy, or like particularly well armored or otherwise. Let's see. The next one is. I don't know why they're not both marked. It's kind of goofy. There it is. I am, however, going to find some nice little... What are the worst and best things of this game? Okay. Ironically, one of the worst and best things is the thing that always comes to my head, the thing that bothers me the most about the game is connected to one of my favorite things about the game. I like building. Really like building. So, I would say, the building in this game is very good. Like the way everything snaps together, you've got a fair number of building pieces and all that good stuff. However, you can only build 3 bases at any given time, and that's, you know, understandable given the way this game is meant to work. Here, let's see this. So if I stagger this guy, well, that's that slow blade attack I was talking about. I actually like the melee combat in this. In general, I like the combat in this. However, there are definitely points where it kind of feels a little sluggish. But yeah, the worst thing in this game for me personally is the limitation on how many bases you can build. They do have a sort of workaround for that, which is being able to like save your base in a rebuild tool, which is really cool. But it sucks because one of my favorite things to do in Conan isn't even to play the game anymore. It's to hang out in God mode and float around building bases. So I would say it's kind of that. Another thing I really enjoy about Dune Awakening again is the story. The storyline's really solid. There's plenty of intrigue. There's plenty of lore connections and stuff in there. I feel like the voice acting is good. I know some people don't much care for it, but those people might also just not like the game. You know, it's kind of the inverse Halo effect of like, well, if you're not really into what it's got. Let's see. Trying to think. What's something that really puts me off? Quite frankly, something that makes the early game really interesting, but can be a giant pain, is okay. So if you go into the deep desert, there's maybe one worm for an area as big as this map. Huge map, by the way. Here, there are 3 or 4 worms in this lower region, which makes it extremely difficult to get around. And so it can make the early game a little harder than I would like it to be, especially since I'm kind of regrinding my stuff. Because I rolled a new character. I didn't just New Game Plus or anything. Well, you can't roll a New Game Plus, but you get what I mean. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't know. Like, are there systems specifically you're interested in whether, like, what my opinion? I tend to have trouble with really open-ended questions like that. Well, and two, like, as weird as it is for me to actually say I'm an optimist, I am an optimist, and I like being entertained. Oh, yeah. Well, see, and the thing is, you'll get a little bit of that combat. It's not quite a Souls-like in that regard, but, like, there is still plenty of dodging, plenty of, like, timed blocking, but it's simpler. It's definitely a lot simpler. I, again, highly encourage waiting for, like, a sale or something. But yeah, it's not a bad game. And there are definitely plenty of groups out there that play. tend to play with a couple of close buddies that I play Arma with. And, well, lately I've just kind of been playing on my own. But it's definitely, it's worth a look. I think, I want to say occasionally they do free, they do. They did, I think. I think they did a free weekend with the last chapter, like, DLC release. So they may do that again. I don't know for sure. Don't hold me to that, please. But it's definitely something to be aware of, and that's coming fairly soon. The new DLC is on its way, and the new chapter update. So you do get, that's one thing I like about the game. You get the big story updates and stuff for free. Those just come automatically. You're good to go, but you get some DLCs and stuff, and they're not terribly expensive so far. Whether or not you think they're worth the price, that's up to you. But personally, I think they're fine. So they have done a pretty good job of injecting value into. Ooh, you warping. I think they did a really good job on the worm, by the way. So historically, there have been really two iterations of the sandworm. That's the first, the sort of three jaw, big boy, and of course you have the Catholic gentleman who reaches up and grabs the sand crawler in the movies, and the one that's more of a ring mouth, right? Both of those exist in this interpretation of Dune. The Tri-Jaw ones are younger. The big ring mouth, they're the grandfather worms. There's the big Shai Hulud, right? And so that's really quite nice to see both styles at play, and seeing that come up, because I've had it happen a couple of times. Seeing that maw just emerge from the sand, in the deep desert is really neat. And I guess that's kind of the yeah, that's kind of my favorite, one of my favorite things. Again, they really got, I feel like they got the environment very well taken care of. I would love to see some more vibes here and there. Ooh. Ooh. Yes. Yes. However, consider, excuse me, or storage, general settings, we're going to turn you off. I'm going to turn you on. Now, this one's the one that needs iron, right? Yeah, well, I'm glad to help, and I'll be here. I'll be here probably at least. Well, I'm going to take a little break here in a minute. I just realized I've been at this for an hour and a half, and I need to eat. But yeah, thanks so much for stopping by. I'm always glad to have somebody to chat with. If you have any more questions, just keep an eye out. Let's see here. The artisan. What am I looking for here? Okay, I've got the Karpov 38. I'm looking for the standard Karpov. I need those mechanical parts. Well, that's okay. This is going to be a nice little... Does a Karpov use... Yeah, it's a heavy dart. Oh. But yeah, I think I am gonna... I'm gonna take a quick actual break from the stream. I probably will be back in about half an hour, because it's... Oh, hell, it's only 8 o'clock. I feel like it's midnight, honestly. But yeah, I'll be back in probably 30 minutes to an hour. Um, so, anywho, I've been Sea Walrus. You've been awesome. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace out.